Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video we have part 2 of SAT exam revision for the American standardized exams. In the previous video we completed questions 1 to 11. I left one question for you to solve. By the end of this video we can go over that question if you need any help from the comments. Now let us move on to question 12. Okay, so please, if you haven't watched, please go back to part 1 to see everything solved until now. In this question here, we have a coordinate plane given and we have a line given, and the question says, what's the equation of the graph shown here? First of all, you need to know that if a gradient is positive, like for example 2x plus 1, then that means that our graph looks like this. Okay, so it's rising towards positive x values. Okay, but if our gradient is negative, if it was minus 2x plus 1 for example, then it goes the other way around, so it will be falling towards x-axis. Okay, and here is x-axis. Now our graph is falling, which means our gradient is negative, so it's either this one or this one, right? We know it's not this one because it's not positive, and not this one because it's not positive. Finally, how to find which one is correct? If you substitute one of the values, for example we substitute 0 for x, okay, the answer has to be negative 8. Let's see if it's negative 8. So let's see what we get. In the first one, y is equal to minus 2 multiplied by 0 minus 8. Oh, we get minus 8. What about this one here? Y is equal to minus 0 minus 8, which is equal to minus 8. So that doesn't help. Now let's try something else. Why don't we put, for example, this value over here? Why don't we put minus 8 for x? We need to get 0. So if we put here x is equal to minus 8, then what do we get? Minus 2 multiplied by minus 8, it would be 16. And then 16 minus 8 is equal to 8. Oh, it's wrong. We need to get 0 for y. So this one is wrong, which means C is correct. Let's prove that C is right. If we put, what is the value here? X is equal to negative 8. Let's put it in C. So what do we have then? Y is equal to minus 8, which is 8. And then minus 8, which is 0. Excellent. That is what we wanted. All right. Let us move on to the next question. What do we have over here? If x over 8 is equal to 5, what is the value of 8 over x? X over 8 is equal to 5. And the question says, what is 8 over x? Oh, we can say that 5 was actually 5 over 1. We have 8x over 8. We need 8 over x. Also, let's flip them, right? But then we have to flip the right side as well. So on the left side we have 8 over x, while on the right side we have 1 over 5. That's it, we are done. So 8 over x is equal to 1 over 5. Okay, question 14. 24x plus y is equal to 48. 6x plus y is equal to 72. What's the solution of the system of simultaneous equations? Now, the easiest way for this to be done is using elimination, right? What do we mean by that? Let us multiply one of them by negative 1. For example, let us multiply this one by negative 1. Why do we multiply that by negative 1? Because we want our y to become negative. And then we add them so that we get rid of them. What do we mean by that? First one, when it's multiplied by negative 1, 24 multiplied by negative 1 becomes minus 24. Positive y multiplied by negative 1 becomes negative y. 48 multiplied by negative 1 becomes minus 48. The second equation remains the same. 6x plus y is equal to 72. Excellent. Now let us add them together. What do we get when we add them here? Minus 24 plus 6x will be minus 18x. Negative y, positive y, they cancel each other out, is equal to minus 48 plus 72 is equal to 24. Finally, x will be equal to 24 over negative 18. We can simplify this by 6, right? So it becomes negative 24 divided by 6 is 4. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Perfect. We have the value of x. We need to find now the value of y. Why don't we substitute that in the second equation here? Okay, so instead of x, we can put minus 4 over 3. And let's see what we get. 6 multiplied by minus 4 over 3 plus y is equal to 72. 6 over 1, so it's going to be negative. 6 and 3 can be divided, so this one becomes 2. 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. Minus 8 plus y is equal to 72. We switch minus 8 to the other side so that it becomes plus 8. Y is equal to 72 plus 8, which is 80. That's it, we are done. We have the value of x and we have the value of y. I hope that this was clear. Let us move on to the next question. Here in question 15, we have a line has a slope of minus 1 over 3 and it passes through point 9 and 0. Which equation defines the line? We know that y is equal to slope, so we can use mx plus b. What is the slope over here? Y is equal to minus 1/3 x plus b. Finally, they tell us that the line passes through point 9 and 10, which means this is our x and this is our y. So let's put the values here. Instead of y, we put 10. Instead of x, we put 9. Minus 1 over 3 multiplied by 9 plus b. Okay, so 10 is equal. 9 and 3 will cancel each other out. So we get minus 3 plus b. Let us move minus 3 to the other side. So 13 is equal to b. So that's what we wanted. Let us put them all together now. Y is equal to minus 1 over 3x. We say here plus b, but we already got that b is equal to 13. Plus 13. Which of these matches with our answer? Minus 1 over 3x plus 13. So this is the only one that is correct. All right, a few more questions for today. What do we have here? In question 16, the function f of x is equal to 206 multiplied by 1.034 to the power of x. That is a model, so it models the value in dollars for a certain bank account by the end of each year from 1957 up until 1972, where x is the number of years. That is very important. X is the number of years after 1957. Which of the following is the best interpretation of f of 5 is approximately equal to 243? So f of 5, which means we put 5 over here. So this means we put 5 instead of x. which means 5 stands for years, right? So, what do we have now? Which of these is the correct one? Let us start with the first one. The value of the bank account is estimated to be approximately $5 greater in 1962 than in 1957. Oh, but why is that? Why $5? 5 doesn't stay for dollars. 5 stands for years. So we started at 1957. After 5 years, it will be 1962. And the value at that moment is $243. Okay, let's read. So A is incorrect. Let's see B. The value of the bank account is estimated to be approximately 243. The value in the bank is 243 in 1962. Yes. So we start in 1957. In 1962, it will be $243. Yep, this one is correct. You can read B, you can read C and D to see why they are incorrect. And the last question for today, question 17. So, for a certain rectangular polygon, the ratio of its length to its width is 35 to 10. Oh, let's stop here. The ratio of length to width is 35 to 10. All right, what does that mean from here? Length multiplied by 10 is equal to width multiplied by 35. So 10 times length is equal to 35 times width. Okay, what else do we know even without reading the rest of the question? L is equal to, now we will divide it by 10, which means 3.5 of width. All right, that's what we know so far. If the width of the rectangular region increases by 7 units, what will happen with the length? So the width will be increased by 7 units. What does that mean? Instead of width, we now have width plus 7, right? Then what happens if we put it here? So length will be equal to 3.5 multiplied by, instead of width, we will say width increased by 7, which means length is equal to 3.5 W, 3.5 width, plus 3.5 multiplied by 7. If you multiply 3.5 by 7, then you get 24.5. So we see that our width was 3.5, our length was 3.5 times width. The length will now be 3.5 times width plus another 24.5. So it means it must increase by 24.5 units. All right. That's enough for this video. See you in the next one. In part 3, we will complete this SAT paper.